So this is a DSi XL shell serial number WW442476104. I'm going to quickly go over why I gave it the condition score that I did. So for the physical condition of the shell, you could probably already begin to see it. I gave it a 1 out of 3, which is good. So it might not seem very good from this glossy shell piece. It looks like this thing slid across asphalt. That is sort of my best theory. There are a lot of vertical scratching. Some of these are fairly deep. They catch on my fingernail. I'll try and do like a strobe along it. My poor camera might have a hard time zooming in on or focusing on glossy, but I don't know what befell this, but it looks like this shell piece was in pretty good shape until it, slid across asphalt. Because even like the portions in between these deep scratches aren't marred with light scratching. It's actually still pretty good, all things considered. And the most important thing about all of these scratching is nothing is blocking the main camera sensor. That sensor piece did not suffer any deep scratching. But as I'm just kind of probing around, yeah, this is what definitely drug down that score. Going around the other bit of the shell, there's like some marks here and there. There's a little scratch above the LED diffuser. Little cluster of marks right there. Going around the top, this top shell piece looks good. Side looks pretty good. A little bit of discoloration on the corner. This piece looks very good. So whatever, like I keep saying, whatever befell this console beforehand, it was probably in very good shape before it had that accident. There's a mark right there. A little bit right there, nothing big. On the back, there's just little tiny like pits here and there, but nothing. This back shell piece is actually still in pretty good shape. All the little stuff you see, most likely dust. I'm in a rather dusty environment. The upper shell piece on the inside is pretty good. I do note that there's just like a little mark like right up against where the shell meets the screen. Almost like a bit of a pry mark. I don't think that was anything I did, but I don't necessarily count that. It's right on the edge of the screen. It's not that bad. And then the actual like face button shell piece, there is, as you'll kind of see, there's glistening around the A, Y, and X button, as well as the D-pad, the left and the right specifically. What I understand is that's just because fingers are just sliding across these shell pieces for possibly hundreds of hours and just wearing down that plastic, or if you have like particularly acidic sweat, maybe that contributes. But that is normal wear from what I see. I see this rather often. So that's why I gave it a 1. Mainly, yeah, like I said, just because of this. Which is a bit unfortunate, but if you kind of want to turn it into a positive, it sort of tells an interesting story that you wouldn't get on a perfectly glossy shell. The physical condition of the hardware, I gave an excellent. Now, the hardware is the buttons themselves and the screw covers. And all of the buttons are in great shape. I do note, like, oh, there we go. I can kind of see it right there, right on the right-hand side of the D-pad. You can kind of see little scratching. Like, I'm having to hold it at a rather extreme angle to even make those things visible, so I don't count those. Those are so minor. The screw covers, these ones had a bit of difficulty going in, but they will stay in. They're held in by a little bit of Elmer's glue. Really, the only damage I note on these buttons are on the left button, which has a little minor scratch on it. There it is. That one's a lot more visible than the scratches on the D-pad, so that's why I specifically note that one. The volume buttons are good, and the screw cover feet are good. Looks like there's a little bit of Elmer's glue I can pick out. I'll do that a little later before I get it packed. That'll come out really easily. But other than just that one mark on the L button, all the buttons are great, and all the screw covers are in great shape. So the physical condition of the screens are the two covers, the top screen lens and the digitizer. Those are the things that sit on top of the LCD displays. I gave a very good, a 2 out of 3, mainly because you'll have to sort of ignore all of the dust that sort of actively falls on these screens while I show them. There is one hair right there that you can't see when the console's on, so I choose to ignore it. Or I allow it because if I try to remove that hair, I just invite more dust and particles to get underneath that lens, making the problem worse. And on the bottom screen is an OEM digitizer. So there are some light scratches. You also can't see these when the console is on. But that's why I gave it a very good. There's only a few light scratches on it, but these ones in particular are fairly prominent. Again, it's nothing you can see when the console's on. I just had the quadruple check because I let one slide a couple days ago. But these do not impact the performance of this doesn't impact the performance of the digitizer. Just some light scratching from what I assume normal use. Circular. They have a rounded to it, so I wonder if they're playing Pokemon Ranger or something. And just that one hair on the top screen. Not perfect, but perfectly acceptable. Which is why I gave it a 2. Now, the screen condition are the actual LCD displays. And what I look for is, do they match and if there's any yellowing. Which, as far as my eyes can tell, these screens are perfect. I don't detect any yellowing and they match very well. I can't peg any differences in them, so they're excellent, is really all I can say. I really have nothing else to add there. So that is why I gave it the condition score that I did.